Monday, February 3rd, brought an explosive episode of Days of Our Lives, delivering shocking revelations and high-stakes drama that left Salem reeling. The much-anticipated wedding between Rafe and Jada took an unexpected turn when the man standing at the altar wasn't who everyone thought he was. As guests eagerly awaited the couple's vows, an interruption threatened to derail the ceremony. Javi Hernandez was on the verge of exposing Rafe for infidelity, but before he could reveal the full extent of his betrayal, Rafe shut him down, insisting that the truth would have to wait. However, the delay was not about salvaging his relationship. He had far more sinister motives in play. Behind the scenes, E.J. DiMera had been orchestrating the chaos from afar. A carefully timed text message to Rafe set the next phase of the scheme in motion, ensuring the wedding would not proceed as planned. With his orders in place, Rafe made a shocking declaration, insisting he could not go through with marrying Jada. His sudden change of heart left the bride stunned, struggling to make sense of his words as guests murmured in confusion. Then came the bombshell. Rather than admitting to any personal wrongdoing, Rafe turned the tables in the most ruthless way possible. He accused Jada of being a corrupt cop. The claim sent a ripple of shock through the ceremony, leaving Jada scrambling to defend herself. But her protests fell on deaf ears as Shawn Brady stepped forward, presenting so-called evidence to support the claim. Unbeknownst to most, the damning information had been fabricated at EJ's direction, ensuring Jada's swift downfall. As accusations flew, Jada fought desperately to clear her name, but the weight of the alleged evidence made her situation untenable. With the public spectacle unfolding, Paulina Pricecarver wasted no time taking action. Determined to protect the integrity of Salem's police force, she insisted that Jada be taken to the station for further questioning. The once respected sheriff now found herself at the mercy of a legal system that had turned against her, all because of a meticulously executed smear campaign. Whether formal charges would be filed remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: Jada's career as Salem's sheriff was over. EJ had successfully eliminated a major obstacle standing in his way, leaving Jada to pick up the pieces of her shattered reputation. And yet, the night's betrayals were not over. Javi, who had been silenced earlier, finally had his moment to speak. With no more reason to hold back, he revealed another devastating truth. Rafe had been unfaithful to Jada with a stripper named Savannah the night before their wedding. The revelation sent gasps through the crowd, turning the supposed hero of the story into the ultimate villain. While Rafe had used deception to bring Jada down, he himself had been engaging in scandalous behavior of his own. What was meant to be a celebration of love had devolved into a disaster. There would be no vows exchanged, no heartfelt promises for the future, only betrayal, disgrace, and a woman left to fight for her dignity. Jada, though heartbroken, was not one to go down without a fight. Her initial despair quickly gave way to fierce determination. She refused to let a corrupt scheme destroy her life, and she vowed to uncover the truth, expose Rafe's lies, and reclaim her good name. Meanwhile, in another corner of Salem, tensions flared between Stephanie Johnson and her father, Steve. Stephanie had always trusted her instincts, and she knew Jada well enough to recognize that the corruption allegations were nothing but a farce. Furious over the injustice unfolding before her, she lashed out at Steve, demanding to know why no one had done more to prevent this catastrophe. Her anger burned as she processed the sheer depth of the deception at play, and she made it clear that she would not sit idly by while an innocent woman's reputation was ruined. As the dust settled from the wedding that never was, Salem found itself on the precipice of yet another battle. Jada had lost her job, her relationship, and her standing in the community, but she had not lost her will to fight. With new allies rallying around her, she was ready to take on the forces that had conspired against her. The question was no longer whether Jada could clear her name, it was whether she could take down the people who had sought to destroy her before they struck again. In the coming episodes, Rafe finds himself in an increasingly dire situation. Belle and Shawn navigate uncomfortable conversations, and a new romance threatens to ignite more chaos than passion. Rafe has been through his fair share of troubles, but his current predicament may be one of the most challenging yet. After a tumultuous confrontation with Rita Leslie, he finds himself back in captivity, a helpless pawn in a dangerous game. While he struggles to survive in his latest prison, his thoughts are consumed by the turmoil unfolding outside. Jada and Arnold have been entangled in their own troubles, and Rafe is all too aware that their fates could be shifting while he remains trapped. His inability to protect Jada, or even warn her of the potential dangers ahead, only adds to his frustration. And just when it seems like things can't get any worse, Rafe receives an unwelcome visit from EJ, who is more than happy to deliver any bad news he can offer. EJ thrives on power plays, and nothing gives him greater satisfaction than having the upper hand. He knows that Rafe's current situation leaves him vulnerable, and he won't hesitate to exploit that. If there's any information that could make Rafe's predicament even more miserable, EJ will be the first to share it, if only to revel in the moment. Whether it's news about Jada, Arnold, or something even more unexpected, Rafe won't be able to escape EJ's taunts. The question is, will Rafe be able to use any of this information to his advantage, or will it simply push him deeper into despair? Meanwhile, Belle and Shawn find themselves forced into a difficult and somewhat awkward discussion. While their relationship has been filled with ups and downs, their latest conversation isn't just about their own history, it's about the choices Belle is making now. Shawn recently witnessed something at Belle's home, and while she may attempt to explain, Shawn is quick to cut her off. He reminds her that she doesn't owe him any explanations. As far as he's concerned, she's free to make her own choices, whether or not he agrees with them. But this isn't just about personal freedom. This is about the potential for Belle to get hurt. Shawn isn't blind to the fact that Belle has been spending time with EJ, and while she may claim it's nothing serious, Shawn is skeptical. Belle might insist that this so-called romance is just a fling, but Shawn knows better. He's seen how manipulative EJ can be, and he understands the risk Belle is taking. He warns her that if she allows herself to develop real feelings, she's only setting herself up for heartbreak. EJ isn't the type to offer stability or genuine love, he plays games, and Shawn fears that Belle is walking straight into a disaster. Belle may not want to admit it, but there's a real pull between her and EJ. Even as she tries to convince herself that this is nothing more than a casual distraction, she finds herself drawn deeper into his world. And despite Shawn's warnings, Belle continues to ignore the danger signs. Perhaps it's the excitement, the thrill of doing something unexpected, or maybe it's the appeal of someone as charming yet dangerous as EJ. Either way, Belle is teetering on the edge of something that could change everything. Will she be able to keep things light and casual, as she claims, or will she find herself emotionally entangled in a relationship that can only lead to trouble? And if that happens, will Shawn be able to step in and save her from making a devastating mistake, or will he be forced to watch as she learns a painful lesson the hard way? With tensions running high and relationships being tested, the residents of Salem are in for another whirlwind of drama. Rafe's fate remains uncertain, Belle and EJ's romance is heating up, and Shawn is caught between concern and letting go. As these stories unfold, expect shocking twists, unexpected betrayals, and heartbreaks that will leave lasting consequences. Stay tuned for all the latest Days of Our Lives spoilers, predictions, and updates, because in Salem, nothing is ever as simple as it seems.